Hello, everyone. Welcome to, well, we're just shooting the shit today. There's no history of film or movies, not this time. We're kind of working on what we want to do with our stuff. And unfortunately, we're small time YouTubers, and life tends to kind of get in our way sometimes. Those pesky responsibilities. I just got hit with a bad one, guys. uh, they told us don't trust these guys when you tell them when you want them to come out and do your septic. They'll want to try and sell you a new one. Well, here's the unfortunate problem. Turns out I actually need a new one because mine hasn't been cleaned since. Well, according to them, they estimated probably about 15 years,
Damn.
Wow.
and they're supposed to be done about every 4 years. Well,
Mm.
anyway, so it's not going to be cheap. Which nothing I've ran into since I bought this house has been cheap. So I'm actually put in with my bank. I'm gonna call them tomorrow after, well, not tomorrow, probably Tuesday. I put in a loan request for them to start getting, because I was gonna piecemeal this stuff. We were gonna do it over the next couple of years, and we had a real good plan in place. Unfortunately, this kind of popped up, and this is going to set us back a lot.
Right.
And unfortunately, it is not something I can wait on.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So that kind of sucks. On the plus side, Top Gun fucking rocks.
Guys,
Nice.
I have to see that. Like even though I know it was filmed in San Diego, original was filmed in San Diego, the sequel was filmed in San Diego. Like it never really I never really cared about it. I mean, like the only thing I remember about that movie is Highway to the like them just replaying that over and over whenever you see a plane.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, I thought it was funny when it said San Diego area. I'm like, oh yeah, where I went to boot camp.
Where I lived and also where I went to where I spent three of my years in the Navy.
Yeah, they would put you back there, wouldn't they?
Oh, I got lucky. I got lucky is what happened.
Yes.
Oh, Jack, I never did ask you. Did you ever apply for disability?
Um, no, because I worked for the VA and I never really had you know, anything. So
Yeah. Speaking. Oh, by the way, is the VA is not open tomorrow? Are they?
no, it's a
Sunday.
holiday.
Yeah. Of course they're not. I got to call Tuesday. I need to get my. I need to get a. I need to get a. Well, I need to get an appointment in. I need my annual appointment to keep stay in the system, kind of thing. Plus, I do want to get some. I do want to see if they can give me something for my hip because this nerve pain is starting to get annoying.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, more annoying than usual.
Right.
Oh man.
Gotcha.
Well, last week, guys, was a blast. I don't know if you saw the uh, baby birthday party porn my daughter put up. And no, I don't mean that in that kind of way, folks.
Right.
Okay, now it's sad I have to actually put disclaimers like that shit in now.
Oh yeah,
Oh.
people take everything seriously now.
I know.
Ah.
So yeah, I was looking at all the. My daughter on Facebook had put up all the photos of Freddie and stuff, and some of them we were there for. Some of them, unfortunately, we weren't there for. It's a 2.5 hour drive there, 2.5 hours back. We stayed for about 3 hours. So, Miss Watchtower. Unfortunately, you look at other YouTube channels, and it depends on. I guess it depends on who you are in the algorithm's approval rating, because certain people seem to, if they have the right uh, talking points from the right sources, they get to say whatever the fuck they want. It seems like almost nothing ever happens to them. Me, I just had my Twitter nuked after a fucking year of finally having one account up. Why? Because I called myself a redneck white trash native of Illinois.
Crazy.
Somehow, in calling myself something was worth it. And by the way, the appeal shit with Twitter is a joke.
Mm.
Oh, I'm
The
sure it
fucking
is.
appeal.
Sound like
There's
it
no
is.
fucking appeal system. First off, okay, here's the thing about Twitter. Good luck trying to find a customer service help desk. You're not going to find it.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Second of all, so your only really recourse is email, which, let's be honest, is fucking easy as hell to ignore. And there's really like nobody you can call, like say Twitter or something, and say, yo, hey, I need to talk to someone. I need some troubleshooting. I need some technical support. What's going on with my account? Why am I actually? It's like, okay, but has anybody actually seen this, or was it just flagged by the algorithm?
Right.
A lot of times it's the algorithm that just flags
I
things.
know it's
because
the
they
algorithm.
don't
And
get
it's
it.
like YouTube as well. YouTube
Yeah.
is
It's like the algorithm red flags something, and then it's like, oh, you're suspended. It's like, okay, why not have your algorithm set up a flag so a human fucking being actually reviews what is being flagged and is like, okay,
I have a feeling that the reason why they've moved away from that is because there's probably so many people who are flagging just anything, random shit, anything, that
Mhm.
they need an algorithm in order to keep up with demands. Or otherwise, they'll have to hire like hundreds of fucking people to review. And then of course within all those people, like you gotta tell them, hey, if they say this, then yeah, that's a ban. If they say this, no, that's not a ban. If they say this, then maybe a suspension. But like just kind of like have those type of rules out there where it's like it's not confusing to people why they get banned or their YouTube videos get demonetized or something like that. I've seen a lot of the times they don't tell you why.
no.
Until afterwards, or never tell you.
Yeah.
Or they
Yeah.
just tell you, and when you file an appeal with them, and it's like,
They ignore your.
well, it's
yeah.
like my first account that got nuked way back in the day. I know why that account got nuked. I was actually not surprised. I was surprised they let it. I was surprised they let my video that I did, that I posted on Twitter, go up to over 6,000 views before all of a sudden, now my account is gone. It's like,
Right.
And for those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, I got no problem admitting it. I took a certain flag of a certain recent organization that has come into mainstream in the last 5 years. So I did with their flag what I thought of it. And I burned the motherfucker. Which I always thought was funny because people were like, oh, you support flag burning. I'm like, hey, I can't stop people from walking on the damn American flag, but yeah, that pisses me off because I actually give a shit about that flag. So I'm burning a flag that means absolutely nothing to me, but apparently means a shit ton to your ass. How do you like it? No, I mean, seriously, think about it. If you took a flag that means something to them, light it on fire, especially certain flags. You know the flags I'm talking about. You know the ones I'm talking about.
Yeah.
They will lose their fucking minds.
Oh, yeah. And you're, quote, a terrorist because of that.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I love that word. Or you're an insurrectionist.
Or you're un-American.
So, I got a batarang.
Nice.
Looks like a batleth.
Yes, it does.
I
It looks
got
like a little bat.
I went to Walmart to get something. Ended up buying a mini fridge.
Oh, that's cool.
There you go.
Nice.
That's cool. I used to have a Jägermeister dispense machine, which also kept it cool. And you could use it for more than just Jägermeister. Like you could put what, as long as it's not carbonated, you could put whatever alcohol wine you wanted in there, and it would dispense it. I ended up giving it to a friend after I had a accident where I fell off a balcony, but yeah, that was a fun thing to have. Sometimes I wish I still had it, but I think it was a smart
I'm
move
assuming
to
the
give it
fun part wasn't falling off the balcony.
away. No, I was too drunk to know what the fuck I was doing.
What the hell are you doing on a balcony drinking?
Well, I
Oh,
was
this
I was
coming from me when I was 9. Oh God. Oh God, I
Yeah.
got a story. Okay. Oh, I got a story for you when I was 19. Yes, folks, I did underage drinking when I was in the military. Statute of limitation has long since expired.
Hmm.
And besides, I don't think California is really going to come after my ass at this point. Trust me, they're happy not to have me, and I'm happy not to be there. No offense, Jack, but
Oh no, I'm trying to get out too.
well, it's like I jokingly said this about. I was watching something about the mayor of Chicago, who she is just an absolute couple of choice words. Bleepity bleep, beep, beep, beep. And then I just okay, first off, if you're from Illinois, like I am, especially where I'm from in Illinois, down there in the St. Louis area, we already don't like Chicago for reasonable reasons. They got the Cubs, we got the Cardinals, it's just natural. But I'm sorry, I think as some people actually liked what I said because I said Chicago, the blight of a great state, one city to destroy them all.
I've only been to Chicago one time, and it was after boot camp. I thought it was a beautiful city. I mean, then again, I was just there for a day, so
I only went
mean,
through there as a baby, so I don't remember Chicago.
I mean, and the main thing I did there was we went to it's called the Willis Tower now, but it was the Sears Tower back then.
Right.
And we went all the way to
talking about Willis.
right. We went all the way to the top,
Willis?
and it was a beautiful view from the top, and all the every side open windows and everything. And then I think we watched Daredevil.
I heard I've been hearing some rumors about there's actually going to be another season of Daredevil coming.
I heard something like that. Is it
Yeah,
like
I heard that too.
Is it going to be like the Netflix show, or are they going to reboot it, or?
No, I have a feeling they are going to. If I'm going to guess here, I'm going to say it's going to be a continuation / somewhat of a soft reboot.
Okay.
That's what I think, because they pretty much have established that, this is Charlie Cox, Daredevil from the Netflix one. It's the same actor. Vincent D'Onofrio showed up in Hawkeye as the Kingpin.
Mm-hmm.
And Vincent D'Onofrio said, yeah, he played the character basically like he was playing the character in the Netflix series. So
right.
I could see, now this would make sense to me because I could see them bringing one of those. If you were going to bring any of those Netflix shows back, Daredevil would be the obvious choice.
Okay.
It was the most, out of all of them, it was the most well-received audience-wise, fan-wise.
I probably need to watch it because I haven't. The only one of those Netflix shows that I watched was Agent Carter.
Oh.
That's actually, I think,
I know why.
One I still have not seen yet.
Yeah. I mean, I was really into like the Cap movie when it came out and stuff. So when Agent Carter came out, I watched that too.
Of course.
I enjoyed the Daredevil series very much. Iron Fist and Luke Cage less. They were the least of my favorites. Jessica Jones is a close. Honestly, between that and Punisher, those two really could go second or third. It just depends on my mood that day of what I'd be in the mood for. If I'm in the mood for something kind of action-driven with, somebody who's basically, he knows for a flat-out fact nothing he does is going to change how it feels, but he does it anyway. Or do I want to watch a psychological thriller? And, well, it depends on my mood. I mean, I love psychological. We talked about this. I love psychological thrillers.
Yes.
I mean, shit, we did a whole thing on Alfred Hitchcock.
That
was a good
more movies of the 30s, yes.
Yeah. We still got to do the 50s. We skipped the 50s at one point.
We did.
Actually, that would be a good time to actually get into that. I would actually like to, you know what? Maybe we should do a history of film, kind of go into the 50s. I'd actually be interested to see if we did the 50s and 60s. I want to kind of see, because I remember something now. It just popped in my head. I remember when I was in music class back in I was in junior high, so it was seventh or eighth. It was probably eighth grade, and this was really a music history class. And our music teacher actually went to a point and pointed out a song. He pulled a song like say from the 50s, then he did a song from the 60s, and then he did a CCR song from the 70s. And he said, "Do you notice how the music has changed over these 3 decades?" So, and I think that really starting in the 50s, 60s, especially the 50s and 60s, especially the Beatles era, music became, I started to think became really, that was when it started becoming a really big factor in movies and being somewhat of an influence. Like, for example, Top Gun, Danger Zone.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
I mean, they would put Elvis in movies.
Yeah. You hear you hear Danger Zone, you think Top Gun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You know,
Star Wars thing.
You hear if I hear Yakety Yak, I think Twins.
Well, at this point, I think WandaVision when I think Yakety Yak, but yeah, Twins would also be, Twins would also be a second close thing because WandaVision they do the Yakety Yak song too.
Yep, Tears from a Rose would be Batman Robin.
Oh yes, Seal's song. That was a major hit. I think that was actually one of his biggest hits.
It was. That's the one he's mostly known for instead of the movie. People don't remember the movie, but they remember the song.
Right.
Well, I remember the movie very well. I kind of go with what Honest Trailer said. Yep, this is definitely the worst movie I've seen 30 times.
Yep, good point, Potato Revan. Yes, yes.
Oh yeah, 9 to 5 for the Orville.
Yes.
Yes. Oh, now what would be fun? Oh, you know what somebody brought up on Twitter, Jack? I thought it was hilarious. I think we should definitely try and definitely go through. We should go through all the Orville episodes. Just start going and find all the pop culture references of everything that they are saying is still canon.
Okay.
It's like I mentioned one point, I just said reality shows, and somebody said, "Oh my God, you're right. Duck Dynasty is canon in Orville." And I'm like, yeah, unfortunately, so are the Kardashians.
Yes.
Yep.
Seinfeld too.
All that still happened.
Journey.
Rudolph.
Just play her some Journey. What? Who? Oh, it's a band from there.
And Merlot. Give her some Merlot.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, I remember I was talking with some people back in the day about songs that kind of got people got you in the mood to want to maybe take things to the next level. And I kind of one of the things we talked about back in the 90s and stuff was in the 80s, especially the 80s and early 90s, early to mid 90s, you really wanted to get a woman kind of maybe you have a shot, you had to play some Prince.
Sure. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, or Barry White.
Maybe a little Michael Jackson.
Isaac Hayes.
Marvin Gaye.
It's funny. I think that Marvin Gaye and who's that really famous reggae actor that or reggae singer that now Bob Marley.
Bob Marley, yeah.
Yeah. You don't have to know a lot of their songs.
True.
Yes.
True.
I mean, it's like one time I saw one where they were saying, "Shake your head," and what do you see? I'm like, Bob Marley.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know. I'm going to be honest. I can't name any of his songs off the top of my head. But when they play on the radio, it's kind of just got that nice little kind of beat to it.
He had his own sound to it.
It was a unique sound, yes, for sure.
Yes, and then his voice was unique too.
Mm-hmm.
So, and actually, the reason why I brought up music also is I saw the trailer for the Elvis movie that's coming out.
Oh yeah, that looks good.
It does look good. Actually, I think the guy who they got to play Elvis
looks like Elvis. Good. Yeah.
He's got kind of the sound, and now I'm wondering if
he's got the moves too. I saw that in the trailer. He has the dance moves too. I saw it in the trailer.
And see, that was a key thing I was thinking about when I was watching that, because it dawned on me that really it wasn't necessarily his singing that was the problem. It's what he was doing on stage.
It was the dancing. It was the hips.
It was the performance.
Yes.
The
Yeah.
performance. I think that's the key thing. I think he actually might have been the first mainstream stage performer.
I think you're right. I mean, other than like actors who performed on stage, but like they weren't as well known.
No, but I mean actually performing, like, eventually Madonna did, and now you see
Right.
most, mostly in a lot of female artists concerts I've been to. That's where you see a lot of the dance choreography going on and stuff like that. It's an entertainment experience now. It's not just you watching a concert. Whereas the old days, it used to be, they get in front of the camera and everything, or they get in front of the mic, play their instruments, and just kind of be, in a sense, wooden. In a sense, a little wooden. He energized the place with his moves.
Yep.
And it was so foreign that the old people couldn't comprehend it. The young folks are just loving it because, well, of course, if the old folks don't like it, the young folks are going to love it.
And they had to censor it a bit too because he found it
Yeah, they did.
controversial.
Yeah.
I wasn't thinking about going to see that in theater. I don't think I will, but I will definitely catch it when it comes out. Now, I am definitely getting Top Gun Maverick when it comes out on Blu-ray, mainly because I really want to. I really want to dive into all the behind the scenes stuff.
Right.
Because I'm telling you what, guys. When we were watching, I asked my wife. I said, when they were taking off and stuff and going fast and doing things, did you ever just kind of find yourself sitting back in the chair, just kind of pushing yourself back? And she's like, yeah.
Right.
I said, I'm picturing my head doing this.
So I need to confirm
I
something
might
about
turn
that
it like
movie.
Huh?
I need to confirm something about the movie since I haven't seen it yet. I was told years ago by a coworker who used to work at the cemetery, the Fort Rosecrans Cemetery there, that there's a scene in the movie where they have a funeral for Iceman. Am I right?
Yes.
Okay. So
folks, I don't qualify that as a spoiler. I think if you watch the trailer, you can kind of pretty much figure out there's a funeral going on, and you can put two and two together and figure out who it's for.
Yeah. And I agree. But yeah, I was told that spoiler like years ago, and I was, every time I have a spoiler that I know before the movie comes out, I usually just wait for someone to piss me off, so I can
Tell them all.
so I can tell them.
She also didn't want to come back for the role. She even admitted she wouldn't be right for the role anymore.
Right. I've seen recent picture of her. I don't think they would bring her back. Yeah.
No, she's not the sex symbol she used to be. I mean, look, okay, sorry. At one point, I was 175 pounds, could run a mile and a half in under 10 minutes. And I was a peak of her. Now unfortunately, I'm overweight, and my sex appeal has probably dropped some since then, probably taken a nosedive over the last decade, but we can't all look like Tom Cruise all the time.
Or Barbie dolls.
Or Barbie dolls.
Tom Cruise, I'm sure he works out and he takes care of himself, but there's a lot. I mean, there's a lot of plastic surgery involved, probably. I mean,
because he's 60. Yeah,
he's in his 60s, and he looks like he's 25 still.
Well, just
naturally 25.
Now, there was a point. Okay, remember, some of that is makeup. Because there was actually so this was interesting at the beginning of the movie, before the movie even starts. Tom Cruise actually does a little intro for you.
Oh,
really?
Yes. He's talking about the movie. He's talking about, it's been 30 years in the making, whatever. Those real G-forces. We wanted to give you the most authentic flying experience in these fighters. Mm-hmm. And he said, he was like, yeah, this is for you guys.
Okay, well,
my wife and I both agreed. We thought it was fucking fabulous. I mean, the pacing.
I'll probably give it a watch. As I said, the first one that never really appealed to me. I'm always down to watch something that's good.
Yeah.
Well, I know a lot of people who, Top Gun had kind of, if you look at the history behind the original one, recruiting for the Navy went up because of that movie.
Oh yeah, yeah. I remember hearing about that. Yeah.
Yes, that's true.
And we're talking an era before the internet.
Yes.
Long before the internet.
Yeah.
The only way you knew about a movie was either how good and bad a movie was. Either A, you saw it, 2, you heard from someone, or 3, you actually stayed up and watched Siskel and Ebert.
Or you read the newspapers.
Or you read the newspaper.
Yeah.
Or the TV guide.
Yes.
Yes, I know that's 5 things, folks, but let's be honest. Nowadays, there's about 85 of them. We had 5. And that's assuming you had a TV guide or you had the paper, because not everybody had those.
That's true.
Although I did, you know, when I was a kid, we'd always pick up the TV guide, and it was only years later I was like, why don't we just get a subscription? We only buy this damn thing at the store. Because I mean, okay, and for those of you who don't understand, even kids read the TV guide.
Yes. Yes. Especially to find out when your shows are on.
I started off with a TV guide until there was a time when like Cox Cable back in the day, it was just called Cox Cable.
Yes.
They had a special channel, and the channel would go through every other channel and tell you what was playing for the next like hour, 2 hours, and stuff like that. And so you would find, so that like if you didn't know what to watch, you would go to that channel. I can't remember what it's called.
But I remember what you're talking about. The one that's
guide channel.
Scroll.
Yes.
And you gotta wait. And if you missed your line, you gotta wait until it cycles all the way back and
another 30 plus minutes. Yep. Yep.
Yeah. And you know the worst part is you'd be sitting there, you're like, what the fuck? Why did I turn my head at that second?
That would happen.
Or if the phone rang, yes.
Yeah.
Oh God, I think there were a few times. I think there were a few times we just let the damn phone ring. It's like, screw it, I'll call them back. I don't have caller ID. Well, then they can call back.
Oh yeah, that was.
Yes, folks, we didn't all have caller ID back in the day either. Sometimes when somebody called you, you didn't know who the fuck it was.
That's true. That's true. And you didn't have 3-way calls either, or call waiting.
No, call someone. They're on the phone. Sometimes you're like, yeah, they're on the phone with somebody else. 20 minutes later, who the fuck are they talking to?
Yeah.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes. Yes, unless you had an answer machine to pick it up.
Hey, Tim's Talk. Great to see you, buddy.
Hey, Tim. Good to see you.
But yeah, and that'd always be funny. You'd be sitting there. Yeah, I can take a message for you. Let me choke myself on this cord. I'll go find a pen and paper. Okay,
and then my dad bought an answering machine.
We had one too,
and it was one of those old cassette decks, the tiny cassette.
And if somebody took up the whole message, they would be talking and talking. And
You just record
you
like
have
like
4 message. He's like, you have, and then we thought we got an upgrade when it would actually be automatic and there was no tape. You have 4 messages, and then you could actually hit the delete button when you realize that, be like, hi, this is so and so from Publishers Clearinghouse. Delete message 2. Hi, this is your mom. You need to call me. Delete. Call mom. Write down. Call mom. Check 3rd one. Check 4th one. And we thought that was the highlight.
That's true. That's true. And if you miss one, you had to go rewind.
Well, I will say this. Caller ID did kill crank calling.
We still get crank calls, but I look at it as like, okay, I don't know this number. Not answering.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. I get numbers like anytime I get a 916 number, I'm like, oh, wrong number. Like, how do you know? I'm like, because the only person who has a 916 number who'd be calling me is my wife. And I have her number memorized and saved.
Right.
See, we've had a spammer actually use our actual house phone number on our house phone. I'm like, come on, don't. I know it's...
Hey, buddy, you want to come up and shoot the shit with us? I'll put the link in. like I said, guys, this is pretty much unscripted. I got back from seeing Top Gun. We're all having fun. Kind of got to have fun because it's been a crazy fucking. Actually,
I'm with me
You're
if you want to
jackass. He's got his Terminator. I'll be back.
I need to get Sarah Connor because I got this guy, and I got the T-1000. Even this is just a different head when his head exploded.
So cool.
It's supposed to look like this, like he's shooting his fucking face off or whatever. But I need to get a Sarah Connor.
Where is my Sarah?
This is definitely not Sarah Connor for sure.
Yeah, I know. Jess has a Sarah Connor. Like,
I think he went to go get her.
yeah.
All right, like I said, we want to make sure he gets one of the right Sarah Connors.
Not this one.
Right Sarah Connors.
Yeah, that's a Sarah Connor I would
Sarah Connors you want to get.
Yes.
Right.
Now, I do want to get the one from Terminator 1. I'd like to actually have both of those side by side.
I mean, she's so different from those two movies because between one movie and the other, like she like hardened up, she toughened up, she learned military tactics, she learned how to shoot. You know, she and her son were basically on the road until she got caught.
Yeah. Well, that was one of the things that annoyed. That was one of the things that was so frustrating when I was trying to find a Sarah Connor. Was that every Sarah Connor that would pop up would be a fucking one from Dark Fate, and I'm like, no, I want Sarah Connor.
Yeah. Now, Linda Hamilton did fine in that, like with what she was given. It wasn't her fault. It was just the story was terrible.
Yeah,
the story was just terrible.
What did she need? Did she just need a paycheck or something?
I was glad to see her. To be honest, I was glad to see her come back, and she was just as crazy as you think Sarah Connor would be. But as I said, the way they started off the movie by killing off John Connor immediately, so they can make room for that tiny Mexican chick later on in the movie, that was a terrible idea. That turned me off for the rest of the movie.
Well, the moment I heard the rumors they possibly were going to kill off John Connor, I'm like, okay. I waited till the movie came out, and then I purposely checked I checked Wikipedia to see. Sure enough, find out John Connor is killed. I'm like,
yep.
I ain't not gonna see it. Ain't gonna fucking happen.
Yep.
No, I did pirate it, and I saw it that way. And I was like, after that, I deleted the file because it was just like I have no intention of ever watching this again.
Public service announcement: this channel does not support or condone the use of priority. Do what we say, not what we do.
We mateys.
Yeah. But yeah, so I mean, yeah, I was not, and it was too bad because they had everything they needed to make a good Terminator film.
Right.
They had everything. I mean, sure, James Cameron was too busy with Avatar to actually direct it or write it, and I think that's where the big problem lay. Like if he actually, maybe took a break from Avatar, actually worked on Terminator Dark Fate, like directed it, wrote it, whatever, and then put it out, it would probably, the action was fine, but it was the story that was just like,
yeah,
it was the story that lacked.
Less than par, yes.
I mean, there's aspects I can be like, okay, that's fine. Like the action was fine. Linda Hamilton was fine. Arnold Schwarzenegger did fine for what they did with him. But just they really once they came out with Terminator 2, they should have just ended it right there. They ran out of story.
Right.
Well, they ended it on if they had used the alternate ending, it would have been over.
Yes, you're right.
Mm-hmm.
And then maybe they should have.
I'm happy with either one. Actually, it'd be kind of fun. You know what? It'd be a fun option to have with a Terminator 2 Blu-ray. Pick your ending. Do you want it to be down the highway, or do you want it to be this one?
I think Clue.
That would be nice. That'd be a good idea. I will say that out of all of the sequels after Terminator 2, the one I would say that is closest to what I would consider the sequel is not any of the movies, but the ride,
Oh,
the Terminator ride from Universal Studios.
yes.
Oh, I actually, when I was down in Florida, when I lived in Florida, we did go and I finally got to get on that damn thing. Only waited 20 plus years to ever finally experience it. Thankfully, it was still there.
Good.
Although my wife said this after we had got done seeing Top Gun. My wife is saying she wants to contact Universal and say, you guys need to contact the guys at Top Gun and make a ride out of this.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah. That would be interesting.
Kind of like, what is it? Oh, it's time for my meds.
Ah,
Hey, I gotta have. Unfortunately, I gotta take meds now in the morning, 1 in the afternoon, 1 in the evening. So I've got 3 alarms. So now I finally have a reason why I have to keep my fucking phone next to me,
right.
as I'll lose track of time like you will not believe.
Oh yeah. We all
Yeah.
will.
But yeah, that ride was awesome. Like, it was pretty good.
Yes.
I love I loved the gift shop. Just looking at all the Terminator merch, I wanted to buy it all. And they had this life-size T-800 endoskeleton for sale for like $1,000 or something like that. I wanted it so
that
bad.
sounds almost that actually sounds reasonable.
I mean, that it might have been more than that, but like it was like I knew it was over $1,000,
Right.
and I knew my parents were never going to buy it, but I wanted it so bad. I still want one, like a life-size T-800.
Well,
We'll think about it.
Well, here was something kind of bummed me out. I went to the that's where you saw the Silver Surfer and the Adam West, because you guys know I already had an Adam West car, Batmobile.
Mhm.
The reason why I got this was because of the Adam West and Burt Ward Batman and Robin that were sitting inside the damn thing.
That was cool, yeah, because I noticed that like you can, like, Burt Ward was already sitting in there, and then like Adam West was out there, but you can put him in the car.
Yeah, I mean it is the Bright Knight and the Wonder Boy. I mean it's now I don't know how old this stuff is. I can't find a made date on it. I just know it was made in China, like every other goddamn thing it seems on the planet. Absolutely, you are more than welcome to join.
Sure, Chloe.
Absolutely, come on in.
The more the merrier. We need more girls.
Well, this one guy at the parking lot sale was selling a like a 4-foot size Dutch from Predator.
Huh.
Problem was he wanted $300 for it, and I'm like, no.
Right.
And I'm like, I have nowhere to put this fucking thing. And then he had a small one that would have been great with my other stuff, but he wanted $100 for it, and I'm just like, no. I think I could find this probably cheaper somewhere else.
Right.
But now I have a new character on my list to find, Dutch.
Okay.
And then we get to the chopper.
That's good.
I saw someone on Twitter popped up something I thought was funny. It goes, say something about Predator. Thank you, Arnold. Now get to the chopper.
Yeah.
Actually, god damn. There's so many things I could say about that movie. And pretty much 99.9 of them will all be positive.
Yeah, they got the comic book shop I go to, like where I got like the T-1000 and everything. They have all sorts of Transformers, G.I. Joe toys. So trippy. Hey, Chloe.
Hi, Chloe.
Hello, Chloe. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Well, honestly, I'm going to be honest. It's not normally I go see a movie and I feel like I got off a roller coaster, but I'm going to say Maverick did that.
I did see.
I never see Maverick.
Oh, it just came out. It just came out.
Yeah.
But it's a sequel to Top Gun, and I mean, like, yeah, I haven't seen it yet. Jess has seen it. He says it's pretty good. I did
Mm.
see I did see the Batman when it came out. I liked it for the most part. My main issue with it was that it was 3 hours long, and
It was boring.
okay, like it was a murder mystery kind of noir type of mystery crime solving type of story. Fine. Now those things are naturally slower in pace. So to make it 3 hours long instead of like an hour and a half or two, that's where like by the second hour I was like looking at my watch like, but this is over with.
The movie should have been no more than 90 minutes long.
I agree. Otherwise,
Honestly, and this might be a controversial take, but I'm gonna say it anyways. I wish there's a small part of me that wishes they would cap the amount of minutes that the movie runs. I mean, sure, make it long enough to tell a good story, but I wish they would cap the amount of minutes.
like if it's more than 2 hours, then there should be an intermission.
At least.
Maybe so, yeah. 'Cause I can't tell you how many times I've been to the theater, and yeah, despite my hard of hearingness, my lack of hearing, I can go to the theater still, especially with hearing aids. But I can't tell you how many times I've had to leave to go to the bathroom or something, and I have to miss part of the movie.
Right.
Mhm.
I have to do that at least twice,
Yeah,
one
like
or two times, every
five,
single time.
a 5 minute intermission in a 2 hour movie. You know, I think that's fair. Especially
At least
Yeah.
it's not like a 30-second one kind of thing.
you have
No,
to
at least
sit
give
through the
it
first
like
30
5
minutes.
minutes.
Like
5
the first
minutes would be
30,
plenty of time.
like the first 30 minutes of the movie is not the movie, but it's trailers. Right?
Yeah.
So it actually makes the movie longer.
Overtures.
It
Yes.
makes it even like 30 minutes longer or whatever.
Mhm.
So, which
Well,
is why,
actually, more than one, actually. Like, because you never know really what time it is if you don't have a watch, and you have to silence your phone and whatever, so you're not sure when exactly the movie starts. Have an intermission just before the movie starts, and then maybe halfway through the movie.
right.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, that would be fair. And then, like that way that like, like 3 hour movies, like maybe an hour and a half, you do the 5 minute intermission, maybe a 10 minute one for that long.
Yeah.
Exactly.
The music-
I've always liked that idea. When we recently watched Hamilton,
Yes.
a couple of weeks ago, I think, and
Yes, it was.
in the middle of it was like a 2.5 hour.
Yeah, it was about 2.5 hours. Yeah, almost
And
3 hours.
They had a 1 minute intermission in the middle of that.
Which was funny. That was
Like, yeah, it was
1 minute?
it said
yes.
intermission,
It's
How are you
like
supposed to do anything in that 1 minute?
it said intermission, and then it counts down like 60 seconds. And I mean,
Yep.
you could pause it and go do whatever you want, and then come back. So
Yeah,
was-
sure.
was-
I mean, but if you're watching it live on theaters or something, how are you
Oh, no,
supposed to do anything in that 1
This one only
minute?
went to Disney Plus. They never put it in theaters.
yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Okay, but I mean, like, if it was in theaters, I guess, I don't know.
Well, like when they were playing it live in music, like as a musical, yeah, there was like a
Probably
like
15-minute intermission. Yeah.
that's what I'm thinking. Yeah,
And while we're on the topic of theaters, why not have more captions in theaters? More captions on more movies in theaters. I mean, come on.
They need to.
I gotta
but
say that.
They don't
No,
always
sorry.
mesh. Even what they do foreign languages, they don't always translate it properly. I will say that much. As a foreign language
Yes,
student,
thank you. I keep seeing the deaf community actually say stuff like that. Thank you.
I see it as a foreign language student. I see myself. So yes, it
Yes.
crazy.
As someone who in the last about 4 or 5 years, one of the ideas my wife had to help our son with his reading issues was turn on the subtitles
Mm-hmm.
to whatever show he's watching.
Mm-hmm.
And that's great. I ended up started doing that. And it used to be subtitles distract me. Now, actually, when I'm watching a TV show, I get distracted when there aren't subtitles on. And then, have you noticed how many times you're watching something and with the subtitles on, you find out dialogue you did not hear.
Yeah.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
Thank
Very
you for
similar.
that testament. Thank you.
They don't really mesh.
Well,
you know?
It
that is
helps
something
more than just deaf people.
Well, that's something I noticed as we were watching them. I was like, I've watched this. I was like, I'd watched something maybe 10, 15 times. And it's like all of a sudden the subtitles are on and I'm seeing words being put on there. And I'm like, I didn't hear that, even if it's just something in the background. The point is, I can see what's going on. It adds some dialogue and sometimes it does great. The downside to that is foreign dub. When you are okay,
Yes.
now you have two options here that it seems to be the case. Watch it in the native language that you do not understand, read only the subtitles, or watch it English subbed and English dubbed, and watch the dubbing and the subbing not match up.
Or number
That's so
three,
annoying.
I can't tell you how
foreign
annoying
language
that
speaker to
is.
translate it for you, and they can tell it for you.
Yeah,
'Cause
but
I do
for
that
a
all the
person
time.
that needs
Jack will tell you that.
captions, that's very hard. I'm sorry, Alicia, but it is.
I know, but I'm saying if you have someone like me around, I will dub it for you. I will translate it.
I know. But if I would have you do it, I'm gonna have you type out a whole transcript. Sorry.
But I'm saying I'd have to be sitting there right beside you and translate it for you that way.
I know, but for a person that needs caption, never mind.
I know what you're saying. So yeah.
Hypothetical though. I want to make you do that.
I don't mind doing stuff like that though.
Just for you, PCAT, just for you, since you brought up The Godfather.
It's gonna make him such an awful he can't refuse.
I actually watched that again a few months back. I think it was PCAT who actually told me about this. I had mentioned, I think at one point, I think it was PCAT who actually sent me the link to this, was when I first saw The Godfather, my grandparents had it on VHS, but it was Godfather 1 and 2 in chronological order.
Okay.
So that was my original experience with The Godfather. I did not see Godfather and then Godfather 2 in those ways. I saw Godfather 1 and 2 in chronological order. And I think I mentioned that, and I believe it was PCAT who mentioned to me, sent me the link to buy the one that has that, which, I mean, don't get me wrong, I like either version, but if you're going to give me a choice, I'm going to take the one that has everything kind of cut in order. I kind of like it was my first experience with it, so it's what I know.
Well, it's also like, I think people prefer to be told stories in chronological order. I remember how upset I was with WandaVision because of the way they edited it.
Yes.
To the point where I re-edited it. I showed that edit to her because she hadn't seen WandaVision yet. So I showed that edit to her, and it makes the rest. It makes the rest of the series
makes total sense when he did
makes
it that
total
way,
sense.
yes.
Yeah. Whereas in the show itself, they're trying to obfuscate what's going on by editing it all weird. Just editing it where they take out all of the outer world scenes, and they just stick within that episode, if you know what I mean. And it was really confusing because it was like, we know this is not the real world. What the fuck is going on? Yeah.
Right.
Well, you're the one who went to film school.
Yeah. So
you see things a layman won't notice.
Yeah. So I re-edited the first episode, and I added all of the context from like that they show, like, by the fourth episode and then the sixth one. I showed all that context where she's like, she goes to the facility, tries to get Vision back, goes to the place, sees the empty lot or whatever, builds the home, builds the town, and then builds a Vision. And then the credits start, the WandaVision credits start for that first one, and then that's when the dun 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 dun. See, I'm bragging about my own editing. Anyways,
He does a good job with his edit.
it was so tedious. Editing is like the most tedious thing. I hate it, but when I'm motivated like that, yeah, I'll do a good job at that.
Same. I hate editing, but I'll do it.
You know, PCAT asked me about the quality of the disc. The disc quality was good. I'm happy with it. Personally, I'd want a 4K version of that, but I'm going to be honest. When it comes to, you know, getting an updated or a cleaned up version of a show per se, and I mean cleaned up visually, not we got to take Trump out of Home Alone 2 because fancies.
I did that too. Anyways,
That guy, I honestly don't like saying his name. It's the only reason why I'm not watching that movie.
Just skip the
Sorry,
scene.
not sorry, kinda.
Well, I actually, after I heard they were doing that kind of crap, I asked my wife, I was like, wait a minute, we have Home Alone 1 and 2 on DVD, right? She's like, yes. I'm like, that's what I thought. I was like, I'm so sick. This is why we've got to, you know, really treasure our physical media. Because unfortunately, with a streaming service, we are subject to, you know, okay, I'm going to put it this way. These people that are talking about these editings obviously don't remember how movies went from the movie theater to your local broadcast. Your local broadcast cuts out some shit.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Modifies the
And
language.
they edit
Modifies
and they dub
scenes.
some things.
Yep.
And here's something y'all don't maybe know. They speed up the actual framing. It's actually going faster. It's like basically you don't realize you're watching something at 1.25.
Yep, and they changed the dialogue, thinking you won't notice.
Oh yeah.
Well, like for example, go ahead. Well, like for an example, when I watched All Good Things the first time when they premiered, you know, it was unedited. Then they eventually reshowed it, and it was edited down some. Like like the whole scene with Worf as, you know, governor and Picard talking to him, and he kind of insults Worf, and Worf goes "Tostuka," and then there's a whole dialogue that happens between them.
Mm-hmm.
That got edited out to the point where he said "Tostuka," and he goes, "Fine, I'll help you."
Huh.
And it's kind of like you took out a big chunk of it.
I
Right.
can
But that's
tell
what you
you.
And yeah,
I can
Netflix
tell
did
you
that, yeah.
something that of a way that can be done horribly. I'm not going to honestly name any specifics, but I was watching a certain show that I hadn't watched in like 10 years for the second time. And I was surprised at how much I actually remembered, to be honest. So therefore, as I was watching it again on this certain streaming service, I recognized that certain scenes were missing, and they were kind of, I don't know, it was odd that it was just completely cut out, and I was like, wait, what happened to that scene? What happened to that scene? What happened to that scene? And it was like, and there was someone else that I knew that actually said that same thing, and I was like, huh, you know? So it was like, I don't know. It was so odd.
And yeah, like Netflix did edit Back to the Future too. They got rid of that little ooh la la scene. Ooh la la.
The Ooh La La magazine, yes, yes. Ugh.
Okay, well, here's the thing.
And to be honest, what I'm talking about, it wasn't anything racy or anything. It was just
well, this wasn't even
weird
racy.
it was cut. I think it was cut for some sort of time, but then again, that doesn't make sense because the Orville was actually running longer than the show I'm talking about. That aired like more than 10 years ago.
I know which one you're talking about, Chloe. Sorry. Anyway.
I had heard about Netflix editing this thing with the sports almanac. I didn't really, honestly, I didn't pay much attention to it. By the way, Back to the Future is my actually my #1 trilogy. Yes, it beats out Star Wars. Deal with it, fucking people. Sorry, it just does.
God, this is heavy.
And you know, anytime my wife and I watch these, because unlike Star Wars, that's really my thing. Back to the Future, my wife and I could probably almost quote the entire fucking trilogy. And we have an amazing love for this, and it never gets old. It's one of those ones you just watch, and everybody has their favorites. 3 is my favorite. I think that's because I was also, at that time when it came out, I was still watching a lot of Westerns, and I do still love Westerns. There's something about my childhood who still loves the idea of cowboys and shit. You know? And I have them all on Blu-ray, and we watch them there. I've never even... It's like if I have the option of streaming it or putting my physical disc in, I'm putting the physical disc in most of the time.
I don't have physical discs anymore because my kids decided they wanted to skate on a linoleum floor when they were like 3 years old. So like I had this idea. I put everything on the hard drive now. I burned all my DVDs onto the hard drive.
Nothing wrong with having backups. I got backups too.
Yeah.
That's still practically physical, I think, almost, but virtual physical, I guess.
I have both.
I just stream because I have nothing physical. Well, I have a few, but very few. I mostly stream, but I prefer physical, like physical DVDs, physical books, yada yada yada. But
as long as I have
I mostly
control
stream
of my copy, that's all that matters. It doesn't matter if it's in a hard drive or it's a disc.
Yeah.
For me, it depends on what it is. There are books I buy physically because I have already been buying the series physically and I want to continue with the series. There are some where I just buy digital. They're good books, but I'm not sure I'm ever going to read them. And unfortunately, digital comic books, generally when you go for the digital version, it's cheaper. It's not the same fucking price as the physical copy, which I still cannot figure out how Comixology gets away with that shit.
It depends. Because I get physical comics.
Sorry.
It depends. Because some of mine are fairly inexpensive.
I hate reading comics digitally, though. It is so hard to do it, at least for me.
It's challenging. I'll say that much.
It is.
Well, you want to see my challenge this week, everyone? I'm going to try it. It's been 20 years since I've attempted, but I think I found a possible way to help me understand this language I've never gotten. Oh, I'm supposed to blow myself up, not fucking myself. Can I go solo? Oh, there we go.
To read or not to read? That is the question. Whether 'tis nobler to read the mighty Shakespeare or to
Yeah, I know you. Yeah. All right.
Alicia, I was just going to say something similar.
Sorry, I couldn't help it.
Well, what's interesting is, okay, so
the
like, for
great
example,
scribe just said it first. Beat me to the punch.
so what you basically have is one side is the Old English and a modern translation of that same page. So I'm hoping
I read something like that.
So either one of two things is going to happen. I'm either going to be able to start using the second part as a guideline to understanding the Old English and eventually able to translate, or I'm going to end up working on the modern English and then hopefully still understanding the damn story. But I picked Hamlet mainly because this has been the one I've always heard talked about the most. And I'm sorry, the only other one I hear talked about as much is Romeo and Juliet. I'm sorry, but I do not want my first experience into Shakespeare to be about two hormonal teenagers.
Oh, you should have.
Good, that was my first one, and of course I was in high school, but that was my first one. I kind of wish it was Hamlet, so good for you.
I would have chosen Macbeth because we did do Macbeth in high school.
I would have
That was
chosen,
my third one. My second one was Hamlet.
I would have chosen Julius Caesar.
Now,
I didn't do Julius Caesar.
Now, if I can get through this book and be able to finally understand this, Julius Caesar is next on my list.
Nice.
Yeah,
like
absolutely. There's a homeschool page I'm attached to on Facebook, and I had brought these up, and I asked if anybody in the homeschool community had used them. Many of them had mentioned that they were great tools and guides for their kids. But they did mention one person mentioned to me there was a teacher that one of the kids, these books were specifically not allowed to be used as source material.
Oh, because they view them as cliff
That
notes.
actually, well, it depends.
No. It was something about, I think it, oh, I'm sorry, Chloe, but I think the way, I don't remember exactly how the response came, because I said, did they give you a reason? And I was just curious, and they gave a reason. I don't remember. The reason was basically I guess this person might be a purist and doesn't like modern translation. Okay. That's the interpretation I got out of it from that. This person doesn't like somebody putting it in modern language.
Can I tell you my experience?
Yeah, absolutely.
I think it depends on the school, because in my school we used those books, especially if we needed to.
Right.
Yeah. It might have been because we were a school for disabilities, and some of us just didn't, like me, just didn't understand the ye old English. But some of us did definitely use those books, and it was fine. It was doable. It was accepted. So yeah.
Well, I've always looked at Shakespeare as kind of all the old writers, the old famous writers, the eras. I've either read the books and enjoyed them, or read them and didn't enjoy them. Depends on who it was. I'm going to be honest. I'm not a huge fan of Mark Twain. And I've read Tom Sawyer. I've read Huck Finn. They're not as good in my opinion, but maybe that whole lifestyle he lived just isn't an appeal for me. But you got to remember the time he was writing for too.
Right.
Now, I tried to read things like Les Miserables, Moby Dick, and the problem is, I hate to say it, they're too detailed.
I just realized that most of the books they had as read were kind of a bit controversial, because most of the books you just pointed out at first were the books that we read in my school. But, weird. I don't know.
I guess technically Lord of the Flies would be considered controversial now.
It would be. We read that in senior year high school.
Oh, yeah, I read that in school.
I did not read that book, at least. But
yeah,
I heard it was bad. Horrible.
I never got over the fact that Piggy died.
Yeah, poor Piggy. Poor sweet Piggy. I know. That was so sad.
Well, what we used to do in my school, in junior high and high school, it seemed several times we ended up reading the book, watching the movie, and doing a compare and contrast.
Yes, we did.
And we did that with Lord of the Flies.
Mm-hmm.
That was one we did.
I honestly was one of the few that hated the watching the movie part, because I would ask for captions and never get the captions.
Aww.
And then, yeah, I always failed that part, got an F for that part because I couldn't follow along, get the notes. But luckily I had a friend, so.
Good.
Yeah. Also, teachers, if you're going to do movies in classrooms, get movies with freaking captions. Please, even if you're in public schools with mostly able-bodied students,
Oh, and another thing that they used to do that I kind of didn't like would be when they, like your class is only an hour, actually 50 minutes, 55 minutes,
Mhm.
and but then like they want to play a 2 hour movie,
And they took that thing up, right?
but only for that one day because the next day they got to go continue with the curriculum or whatever.
Yeah,
Yes.
You only
exactly.
watch
Or
half of
you
you only
forget
watch
what you
half
had
of a
to
movie.
Yeah,
Yes.
don't do that.
That
Just
would be
do
so
something.
frustrating.
If
Yes.
it's
And
gonna
then
be
she's
a
like, just go back to the movie.
random
You forgot
You know,
what you
just
had.
class,
just
just
have
do
one
Especially if it
something.
was
extra
a movie
day.
you hadn't seen, especially if it was a movie you hadn't seen, you were actually getting interested in it. Now you go home and
Yes.
bug your parents. Do we have this movie? Can we go to Blockbuster and rent it?
Yes.
For me, I would have preferred doing any other thing other than a freaking movie. Being hearing impaired myself. Well, hard of hearing, not hearing impaired. I need to get off of that tone, but yeah.
Right.
Anyways.
Back in 1990, when the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movie came out, and it came out on video, somebody had brought a copy of it to school because it was going to be one of those days where we're going to watch a movie. It was like a Friday, and and so they they put the movie in, and of course within the first 5 minutes, Raph loses his sigh and goes, "Damn!" Right? And as soon as he does, my teacher ran over, like stopped the fucking tape, pulled the cassette out. I was like, okay, looks like we're not going to watch that today. It's like, what? Over
What was it again?
it was
Over one
the
cuss
moment
word?
the moment Raphael loses his sigh, April picks up the sigh. He's looking through the sewer. She puts it in her purse, and he goes, "Oh, damn!" And then
Oh, you're kidding me.
and then
That's
like,
Over one cuss
and
word
then
and
and
it's
then
not even that bad.
that's when the music starts. Like dun 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 dun, dun bloop. She pressed stop. I was like,
Yes, dude.
"Oh,
Major
God."
League butt
And everybody,
kicking
and you
is
probably hear everyone go, "Oh man!"
Everybody was like, "Oh, come on!" I was like, "No, I'm not going to get in trouble for cursing." Like whatever. It was like it was just damn.
That's
Well,
not like
actually,
the first time they
actually,
couldn't go
Jack,
to
it's funny.
win. Jeez.
No, Jack, actually, it's funny you say that because when I was at my daycare, uh, when I was in like fourth, fifth grade, I was down in Florida. Our daycare, we actually had an in-school daycare, and so ironically, our daycare was in the cafeteria of all places. And they put that movie on, and they didn't care about the dam. But then again, this was a daycare. You could also take those little blocks and stuff. And what do you think all the boys were doing with the blocks? We were making guns.
Uh-huh.
I did it too with the boys, and one boy slammed a wooden block on my hand, made my hand turn purple.
Oh no, did you turn into Thanos?
Did I tell him what?
Did you
Did you
turn
turn
into
into Thanos?
Thanos?
Yes, I told the teacher. I had to go to the emergency room that
No,
night.
Thanos.
Because Thanos
Huh?
is purple. You said your head
Thanos.
was purple.
Oh,
Purple.
that was before
Sorry.
Thanos was around, girl.
Stupid voice.
I am
No, we
inevitable.
understood you just right.
I remember I was
Hey.
5 years old.
Oh, man. Had some good times growing up. Remember when going to the pool, there weren't so many fucking rules? You could actually
Sure.
dive, jump, backflip, front flip.
You could do it even
Oh
if the lifeguard
God,
wasn't on duty.
Okay, that reminds me of my grandmother's pool. She used to live in a condo, and we used to learn to swim in a pool. But now they have so many rules, we couldn't even have fun. I kind of have a experience with that. Good grief. Not a community pool, but more like a kind of it. So yeah, I kind of know.
Well, there was a community pool that we had that was next to my school that, yeah, there was a lot of rules. Like you couldn't run, you couldn't, dive certain ways, stuff like
Well,
that.
sure, safety rules.
But we also had a pool in our complex. I lived in a complex of condominiums, and we had a pool there, and there was no lifeguard or anything, so you could do whatever you wanted.
I'm sure everybody was wanting to go there more to this community one.
Well, so in grammar school in 7, 8, at the end of the year, they showed Top Gun, and the teacher freaked and ran to cover the TV at FF when Tom Cruise had the love scene. That's funny.
That is funny. Ooh.
I don't know about 7th and 8th grade. At this point, these kids do know that sex is a thing. At this point, I
Right.
can understand that for like elementary level, but okay, right around junior high, middle school area, that's when you start discovering the opposite sex, or in this case, nowadays, the same sex. You find out what you're attracted to.
Yeah, that's one reason why they cut
Start
up the
to
scene.
you start figuring out what you're attracted to, or at least you think you know what you're attracted to.
Mm-hmm.
And even if, let's say, you're not into that kind of thing, you cover your eyes anyways.
Well, our teacher fast forward a certain scene too with the Frankenstein scene with who was it? Robert Hall. Oh man, with the wedding scene. Oh, our teacher. I'm thinking we're 17-year and 18-year-old. Come on.
Yeah, really.
We had in one of our classes, I'm guessing it was my English class, and yeah, I could believe it. I'm guessing he didn't pre-screen the movie. One of the what was it? Oh, I lost my train of thought there. Oh well, must not have been that important. Oh well.
Hopefully you'll get it back soon.
I'll get it
At
back
some
probably
point.
I'll get it back 5 minutes after we end the stream.
Oh yeah, that's normally the pattern.
That's what normally happens, yeah.
Yes.
So I will say this: Top Gun and Ghostbusters Afterlife, Top Gun Maverick and Ghostbusters Afterlife. I'm gonna say this: have you guys heard this joke on certain things? The Prometheus School of running away from things.
Yes.
Okay, and you know that's from the movie The Prometheus, where instead of rolling out of the way, you just keep going the same direction, you idiot.
Right. They
I'm
always run
gonna
the same
say
way,
that
like the Wilhelm scream. Yes.
I'm gonna say, yeah, like a Wilhelm scream. I'm gonna say Top Gun, Maverick, and Ghostbusters Afterlife went to the Cobra Kai school of this is how you do a sequel.
Okay,
Nice.
that's good. I will say that I did see The Northman as well. I thought that was good.
Oh, I don't think I'm gonna get to see that in theater, unfortunately. But God, I hear.
Yeah, I think they're almost done with their run, but yeah, it was pretty good. It's good old fashioned Viking revenge. That's it.
I still have to see Ghostbusters Afterlife, but I am
Girl,
waiting
you need
until I can get it on DVD or I can see it on some streaming whatever, honestly.
It's you can get Ghostbusters 2 and Afterlife on Blu-ray for I think $20.
I don't have a
20,
Blu-ray.
You can get it on YouTube for about, I think, $15 to $20. I got mine for about
I honestly don't. YouTube, it's too expensive. I'm just trying to see if it's on one of the streaming things that I already have, or maybe I could get the DVD. Maybe
It's
I'll
on
get
Amazon
all the
Prime.
good Ghostbuster DVDs that
Mhm.
that are available. The good ones, only the good ones.
Of course. We don't count that. Question.
No,
That what?
we don't talk about that. It's
The
a
current
clean.
one.
That what? I only know of 3 Ghostbusters movies.
Yeah, me too.
I was hinting about that Disney song. That's all. We don't talk about
Hey,
that.
just like I say, there are currently only 3 Indiana Jones movies.
Correct. Correct.
And 2 Terminator movies.
And 2 Alien movies.
Yes, and 3 Back to the Futures and 3 Star Wars.
6.
I'll say.
No, I mean 3 of the original trilogy. 3 of
3 of the original trilogy, 3 of the prequels. Now, granted, I know there are still people who are
I will
straight
admit,
original, and I
I
respect them.
probably saw a bad one, which was Solo.
Ugh.
I will
I
say that.
know.
I will-
Not my intention, not my fault. I was just going with what the family members decided.
I will say that there's a pack of solo cards, like they're selling solo cards in my comic shop, and they for some reason they put it right next to the Picard cards that they've been trying to sell. So I posted the picture. I took a picture of both next to each other, like, you know, the Picard box full.
How did I not see this tweet?
Completely full, and then and then the solo box almost empty. People were way more excited for Solo than they were for Picard.
That's funny.
Now here's my thing.
No wonder.
Here's my thing. I actually like Solo. I'm in that minority group. My wife and I, we actually very much enjoyed the movie. It has flaws, and I will happily admit to them. But it's always funny when I try to point out the flaws of the original. When I was a prequel guy, you know how with being a prequel guy when the prequels weren't, you know, accepted.
Mm-hmm.
You know how I got people? Not by trying to argue them, but really what really got them was they pointed out all the flaws throughout the prequels. So I started pointing out all the flaws of the original movies. Oh my God, you should have seen the faces of them because they try to argue and they're like, no, that. You know, the wheels are turning and they're like, oh, fuck, he's actually probably right.
But they don't want to be humble. So yeah, they still argue with you. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, but once you
I
get
think
through to some of them. Go ahead, Chloe.
Honestly, I think I'm kind of in this minority group too, because I think Solo was okay. Honestly,
it was okay.
It wasn't that bad. It probably wasn't that bad, but I don't have other Star Wars movies to go by.
I will say
but I
that
think this is why Alicia calls me a closeted Star Wars fan.
Right. But yeah, I think like for me, I like it's not a terrible movie, but it's a movie that it like Top Gun, like I saw and I was like, it's okay.
Hey, everybody has their. Hey, you know what though, Jack? Remember this. Not everybody. Top Gun wasn't everybody's cup of tea. I know people who didn't even like the movie.
Sure,
I love it. It has a lot of fun for me, but whereas I wasn't one of those people who went out and wanted to join and become a pilot because of it, but it inspired a lot of people to do that.
Sure. Shit, what was I going to say? Oh, yeah.
Sorry, bud.
Rogue One. Actually, I did like that one a lot. For some reason, like, so I will add Rogue One to my Star Wars canon. So it's Rogue One, Episode 4, Episode 5, and then Episode 1, 2, 3, and then Episode 6. That's kind of the order that I put my Star Wars in.
You know, there is an interesting thing. There is a PCAT. You know, that would be a hell of a topic to have one day. Watch Top Gun, the original Top Gun, and Iron Eagle, and kind of do a compare and contrast. I mean, I'm going to be honest. Iron Eagle does have Louis Gossett Jr. in it, so that's kind of a bit of a win in a lot of categories for me. Well, damn it, I had something to make. God damn, man, this losing our memory is getting contagious. I'm going to have to work on that.
I think it's a part of getting older.
Either that,
unfortunately.
I usually call
either that or it's the weed we're smoking.
I was going to say, like, I was going to call it hitting a pothole.
Yeah, you had a little bit too much herbal essences.
Well, I am fully sober and I have a crap memory, so, and I'm in my 30s.
Early
Sober.
30s, baby.
What is sober? What is this word she uses, Jack?
Oh, I don't know. I haven't. I think I used to experience that when I was younger. But
Good boy.
And what was it? PCAT. Now, maybe somebody here knows it. Maybe PCAT knows it. If I'm not mistaken, did he win the Academy Award for Officer and a Gentleman?
Um,
I don't know.
I
Was
don't
that?
think so.
No, I'm seriously now I'm gonna have to look that up. Son of a bitch. I'm the worst speller on the planet. Thank God for okay, what did he get in?
Yes, he did win it for Officer and a Gentleman. I just checked.
Okay. What a best supporting actor?
Probably, yes, because Richard Gere was the main actor in that one.
Yeah,
so,
Richard Gere was the act, so I'm assuming Louis Gossett Jr. probably got it for best supporting actor.
Correct.
Which is a damn good movie.
Mm-hmm.
There are certain movies that, you know, I if a newer version of it comes out, a cleaner version, a more crystal version, there are certain ones I'll upgrade. But I think there's maybe only about 20 of any that I would do. Back to the Future, Star Trek, Star Wars. I don't know about Stargate. I'm kind of good with what I got.
Yeah, the
Maybe
series was
maybe Battlestar Galactica, the sci-fi one.
which one? Which version?
The sci-fi one.
No, I mean there was there was three versions. There was the 1978 version, there was the 1980 version, there was the 2000s version. That's why I asked.
2000s, the 2000s
Okay.
version. I don't think you could take the. Well, I'm going to be honest. I'm in that group where I really wasn't a fan of the original Battlestar Galactica.
Okay, see, I like the original, but I didn't like the 1980 version.
Yes, I think that's kind of universally agreed among
Yeah, the only thing that was good was the
BSG fans and the 80 thing. I enjoyed the reimage, but like I said, I had no real childhood love for the Galactica one.
Gotcha.
The original. I mean, I'm glad people have love for it. I mean, I know people talk about Space in 1999 and Blake 7. I tried to watch Blake 7, and I told him, I said, I couldn't even make it through the first episode. It's just not for me.
Mm-hmm.
And Space 1999, I don't know a fucking thing about it. Other than it exists. And it's got a spaceship, and it's set in, what, 1999, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
That's about all I know. And I'm trying, that's actually a hard thing. I'm trying to educate my son. My son has asked me questions about Superman and Batman and things I'm generally very knowledgeable of, but he's talking about more recent stuff that's going on with the Batman and Superman IPs. And so I stopped paying attention to a lot of that shit a long time ago. So I gotta try. I'm starting to realize I gotta start articulating that.
Apparently, there's a comic where Superman gets raped in prison. I think they mean Clark Kent Superman, and then they replace him with another version, like another Superman, but this Superman is gay. So
That's supposed to be like Superman's son, apparently, and
Yeah,
he's
that's
gay
like
or bi or
John
something.
and so like,
And it's not
this
because of
Superman-
pink kryptonite.
and this Superman has a boyfriend, and the boyfriend bought him like a LGBT cape or something like that. It's like a rainbow cape.
Exactly.
That's all I know.
Stupid.
And
Well, that's
yeah,
the
once
thing,
again,
I don't-
I say this gay Superman, it's not because of pink kryptonite.
No.
The
They
problem
make
is they don't.
Well, here's the funny thing. Here's the fucking funny thing. If you actually looked at history, and by historical terms, not that long ago, pink was a man's color and blue was a girl's color.
Exactly. And let me tell you one thing. my childhood bedroom had both colors, and I love both colors to this day.
Yeah.
So there you go. Take that.
Well, my childhood bedroom was blue, so there.
You know, I can't. Well, I moved around so much in my life. Oh shit, shit. I don't know if I ever lived in a place that had walls that just weren't a neutral color paint. No, I don't think so. At least not until I was in. Well, no, I never actually lived in a room that didn't have a non-neutral color. I mean, a painted
Hmm.
room's different colors, but yeah,
Hmm.
no, we. Well, I didn't grow up in one place
Right.
or
Mm.
one location per se. Like my wife, pretty much lived her entire life until she joined the military. She lived it in the same city.
Hmm.
While my home is Granite City, and I was born there, and I went to school for junior high and high school. I went around a lot of this fucking country and a couple of countries in my life. It's just,
Well,
I've
well,
moved so
granted, my
much.
room was mostly pink because I was a girl, thanks to my dad. He even painted one of my um light switches, the outlet thing, pink because he thought I was that obsessed with pink or something, and it was only my drapes that were blue. But whatever. I do like both colors to this day, equally, but yeah. Still, take that. I like both colors. I have both colors in my bedroom. Take that.
I'm predominantly a black and blue guy. That's what I
Mm.
like to wear. Those are the colors I prefer. My grandmother, oh my goodness, my grandmother wore some of the loudest clothes in the 80s and 90s. I mean, the brighter, the more she loved it. The only dark colors she ever wore was like kind of like a violet purple and kind of a somewhat teal blue.
Hmm.
Those would
Sounds
be the
like
only
my
like
grandmother.
those
It
would be
sounds like
about the
my
only
grandmother.
two like dark colors she would wear. She never wore neutral. And predominantly she wore, and I think I know why, because she spent almost her entire career as a nurse, started as an LPN, became an RN, and worked night shift in the ER her whole life, her whole career, pretty much. And
Hmm.
that was by choice. She
Mm.
loved the ER and she loved the night shift. It's one of the reasons her and my grandfather didn't sleep together. Well, as far back as I can remember, he would always be up early. She'd always be, sleeping during the day. Their schedules never really synced up except for certain points.
Hmm.
Plus, he was working for a company called Air Products, so he went to a lot of job sites for the company. So he traveled a lot. So it became more convenient for them over time. And then after they
Mm.
both retired, it was just she still stayed up late at night. She did not go to a day schedule. He did not change his schedule, so they'd already been doing that so damn long. What was the point of moving back? They were probably pretty comfortable in that lifestyle. So I got a question. We're at almost an hour and a half. So if you if there was an IP you would like to get your hands on that you think you could really do a good job with, what do you each think you'd like to take a shot at? If you did, you don't have to go into details. Just what would be one you'd like to take a shot at and just a general idea of why?
MTV, I'd like to bring back the music videos.
Hmm.
Hmm. Let me think.
What about you, Chloe?
What was the question again?
If you had a TV series or movie or something, and you were able to write something like a sequel, a reboot, a reimagine, whatever, what would it be? And really not in details, but just what would you want to get your hands on, and just a really small reason why.
Mm. That's a good question. I have a couple of ideas um for answers for different reasons. Um but yeah,
All right.
if I say them, Alicia's gonna laugh and say, "Of course."
Well, what's wrong with that?
No, I'm just saying because she knows me so well.
Well, it's not a bad thing.
No, I know.
So,
Um, one of them, I'm gonna say the reasons first. One of them is because um a certain, let's just say, station didn't want to do it because they still wanted her to portray a teenager when she wanted to portray someone older because her fandom basically grew up with her now basically in their 30s, and that's Lizzie McGuire.
Oh yeah.
So honestly, I would try to do that reboot. That never got to happen. The other is, well, I don't know. Maybe not the other. Never mind. But yeah, that's the one.
Maybe I would
I
take
got
a Spanish novella and just dub it in English.
That'd be interesting.
Oh man, that'd be a mess.
It would be.
I have
An
two
interesting
actually.
mess.
I
Sorry,
actually
good.
can think of two that I would like to try. I am not saying they would be successful. I just like to see what a 2020 kind of era would be with these kind of characters. Uh, one being Lassie
Okay.
and one being Mr. Ed.
Ooh, okay. Those that's two good ones.
Crossover.
Now, why Mr. Ed? Because Mr. Ed knew how to dial a telephone with his mouth. So they could easily have Mr. Ed typing into a pad. Or Alexa, order this. I'm telling you, there is potential here for a talking horse.
Alexa, call 911. Wait, Timmy's calling 911.
Alexa.
I hope none
Alexa,
of us had
please
Alexa in the
order me a new
house.
saddle. Mine just broke.
Okay, I'm gonna say the second passing idea anyway, just for fun. But I had this passing thought mainly because I saw this YouTube video. I watched parts of it, but it said that Smallville should have been made in 2020 or something like that. So I just had this passing thought: what if there was a reboot or sequel or something? But it's just fine the way it is. I think. I don't know. I had this passing thought, but I don't know. But I think I'll stick with my answer only.
No worries. So, PCAT, Crime Story from 1986. I'm going to be honest, I'm not familiar with that one. And then he
Okay.
says, my second choice is V Final Battle, but let Kenneth Johnson write his version. You'd have to tell me the story behind that because I don't know. I love V and I love V Final Battle. I honestly do. I think the downside was, unfortunately, I can watch V Final Battle. I cannot watch the series because it just, one, it ends on a cliffhanger. Two, it kind of diminishes the impact of the first two, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd rather leave it at V Final Battle be the end all be all.
Okay.
All right,
Okay, so
all right.
I just
Elisa, did you say what you were thinking?
No, I haven't said mine yet. So mine would probably be a show from the 90s called Ghost Rider, where these kids solve mysteries using early 90s technology, using computers. And they basically typed out messages via the computer, the old DOS kind of system, to this
Oh
so-called
yeah.
ghost. So I would revamp to see how they would do it in the 21st century. So I would love to see that. Because they never explained who this Ghost Rider was. We knew he was from a so-called slave from the Civil War, but we didn't know anything else. So I would have loved to have seen that. Or maybe
Oh, you know what another good one would be to do in modern day now? Alf.
Ooh,
What?
Alf.
Alf. Okay.
Because just think about what Gordon Shumway could have done with today's technology at the Tanners. He wouldn't need to chase after Lucky. I'll take a
Nice.
Persian. 2022, 2021. Let's go for the deluxe model.
He could use drones as well, right? I don't think there were drones then too, right?
He was an alien,
No.
a furry alien. He like
I
kittens.
know. I know.
That would be so. Yeah, actually, I thought the Mr. Ed idea was good, but the Alf idea is even better.
Oh, well, about the Mr. Ed thing and the Lassie thing. I just did the crossover. Okay, so pretend I'm Mr. Ed and then I'm also Lassie. Whoa. Yeah. Whoa. What is this dog doing here? Bark. Your name is Lab. Your name is okay. That's annoying.
And Lassie does not sound like an ankle biter.
No, he doesn't. I know what an ankle biter is. My God, my dog is an ankle biter. Well, mom's dog, but.
All right, let
yeah.
Jack finish, and then we're gonna close out.
All right. So, whoa, what is this dog doing here? Bark! Your name is Lassie? Hi, Lassie. I'm Mr. Ed. Bark, bark. What is that, boy? Your human Timmy is stuck in a well again? Bark! And broke his leg and can't climb back up? Bark, bark. And you need me to call the police station and explain the situation to the humans? Bark! Jump on, Lassie. We're going riding. Bark, bark. That's it.
Mr. Ed can talk to an animal.
Now imagine Mr. Ed
No,
running,
Let's
galloping.
Let's modern it up. California style. What is that, Lassie? Little Tubby stuck down a well. We gotta put out an Amber Alert. Hello, 911. We got an Amber Alert for a blonde white boy. And you know when here have Mr. Ed just for fun doing exactly like he did back then, doing different accents and doing them perfectly and speaking in different languages.
Mr. Ed can do that?
You'd be silly.
And in the TV show, he communicated through the telephone, and it would be funny to see him be like, and Wilbur walking, Ed, what are you doing? I'm going to turn the Wi-Fi off. The hell you are, Wilbur. Up. It'd be like, do you know how much all this stuff costs? Yes, I do. And then all of a sudden have something where he pop something over, and it shows up all the expenses and everything. And he's like, now here's what I give you. Shows all the money he makes him. That would be that would be some modern day twist on Wilbur and Mr. Ed. Wilbur uses, somewhat uses Ed to get ahead, and then Wilbur is like, I ain't stupid, bitch. You gonna work for me. We gonna do a little tit for tat. Something like that. Add a little modern day to it.
I never got to see Mr. Ed, even though I watched a lot of TV Land. Hey, I never caught it. It was back in those days before DVR.
Do you want to know?
And then I kind of tapered off watching TV Land. Sorry, go ahead. I'm done.
Do you want to know what my wife has said many times? What actually she knew I was the right person and that I won her was when she made a comment about what she had done that day. And I said, oh, you're a regular Donna Reed. And she looked at me and she's like, do you know who Donna Reed is? I'm like, yeah, I know who Donna Reed is. I used to watch the Donna Reed show all the time.
Nick at Night, bitch.
Yeah, Nick at Night, bitches. Where was that?
90s, baby.
Where us cool kids were at while y'all were out getting arrested.
And
I realized watching Dennis the Menace, motherfuckers.
And I realized, Nick at Night was only like 6 episodes long, and then they replayed all 6 episodes. I didn't realize.
Honestly, I was not allowed to watch Nick at Night, so apparently I'm not one of the cool kids.
I wasn't one of the
that is messed up. You should have been totally allowed to watch Nick at Night.
It was completely clean.
Exactly.
Strict parents. Let's just say strict parents. That's all I'm going to say here. That's all.
Grew up with those fucking shows.
That's what the parents. Yes, exactly.
That's what your parents.
If I try to sneak something, yeah. That's all I'm going to say.
Girl, it was decent entertainment.
Now,
I know, I get it. I walked in a friend's house sometimes, but
in her defense, Alicia, she is much younger than us.
Hey, sure. Not that much younger. I'm only 5 years younger than Alicia.
You're 30.
31.
Okay.
I'll be 37 in a week.
I'm 42.
I just turned 39.
Okay, so what? I know a lot more things than you than you think.
No. I'm just saying, based on certain age differences, certain shows had left Nick at Night. I actually really stopped watching. I'm going to be honest with you. You know what my downfall with Nick at Night was? When I found out Mr. Ed was being taken off the show. Yeah, when Mr. Ed and they were like, au revoir, Mr. Ed. I mean, they made a big deal about Mr. Ed. And I watched all the episodes, and that honestly became a point where I think at that point I was like, Mr. Ed's gone. I didn't have any VHS tapes of Mr. Ed. I don't know how to order this shit. There's no internet. It's the fucking 1980s, motherfuckers, or 90s, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Or early 90s. But I mean, yeah, it was just, once that moment happened, that was kind of when I think me and Nick at Night kind of had our last hurrah. But you know what?
I was probably way too young in the early 90s. I was born in 1990.
I remember watching Nick at Night very, very young as a kid. And then by the time I was a teenager, I started watching at night. I would either watch like Snick or something like that, or I would watch wrestling. I started watching a lot of wrestling around that time too.
You see, that was the thing. I enjoyed the wrestling toys, but I never got into I never got into it because I'm going to be completely honest. What a lot of people like about wrestling annoys the shit out of me because I really was like trying to watch this as a kid, and I'm like, Can you guys shut up and fight? I'm
There's a lot-
sorry, but I was
There's
so
a lot of shit talking before they fight. Yeah.
impatient.
Yeah, that's
And
true.
I just got tired of it because it would always be these long bullshit conversations, and then like a big star would come out against some no-name guy in no-name spandex, and it was kind of like, okay, where's the good stuff? Oh, pay-per-view.
Yep.
My
see,
parents
that-
can't afford $59.99 for a fucking 1 hour, 2 hour show.
That was an annoying thing with me. Like they would do like with me too. It's like I'd watch the show like Monday Night Raw and SmackDown, and then they would build up these rivalries, right? But then in order to watch the final fight of the rivalry, you gotta order pay-per-view and go get WrestleMania and shit. And that was
by the
every
way,
month.
folks,
Every month they did that. They did a pay-per-view every month.
Oh, and by the way, folks, those actual pay-per-views back then were like $59.99.
Yes.
And we are talking 1990s.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, dollar meant more back then than it does now. Gas was in the 1990s. We were still under $1.25, I believe, right around there.
Not quite $2, less than $2 for sure.
I
No, we were less
kind
than-
of remember about pay-per-view, but that's only me kind of knowing about it, I guess. But I guess child me never fully understood pay-per-view. Sorry, but I don't know. But anyways, my
child
parents
you would have
never
no
wanted
reason to.
pay-per-view anyway, so
I remember what we
child
ended
you
up
wouldn't
doing
have
was,
any reason to.
yeah, I get it.
Well, it's like I was thinking about this. I was thinking about jokes people nowadays wouldn't get. And it was like a scene from a season in Roseanne. Dan goes, sees his dad. He's at a hotel. Him and his wife have had a fight or something. And he knocks on the door. His dad opens it. He sits down. He's watching TV. He goes, "What are you doing, Dad?" He goes, "I'm drinking a beer, watching a dirty movie through these wiggly lines." Because Dad, if you just pay the $3, they'll take the lines out. He goes, "Yeah, but then they know I'm watching a dirty movie." And there are people who will not get that joke reference because, well, one, they're not boys from that era.
they never
And
experienced
yes,
like
folks,
flipping
I hate
through the
to
channel,
tell you
and then we
this.
got to channel 99, and it was like, what's this? It's just blurry.
Actually, I was on the very end of knowing that, and then we got cable when I was, or something, when I was very, very young, probably like 5. So at the very, very end.
Why is this channel so blurry? Is that a tit? It was like,
So yeah, I think I would have kind of understood that. So yeah. I also know about having to get up and change the channel on the TV, because that would also like that ended when I was about 5 too. So.
and then we
My
got
hero.
we got Elvira here.
This
Actually,
is-
there is a legitimate reason why I say she is my hero. People need to know the history of how she managed to. She owns this now.
Right.
She really. I mean, there is a documentary about how she got complete rights to the character of Elvira. And I am like, this woman was smart. These people didn't see what they had. They kept selling her more back on the cheap. And she kept taking, I'm like, bitch, you rock.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
No, I seriously, if you guys want to, seriously, if you haven't seen it, how Elvira got to be where she's at now. Yeah, definitely look at the documentary that's out there because, oh my God, I was like, you were smart. You knew you had something. she had a product. She had a product for a niche group. I think she knows it's more a niche group, but niche groups can always expand. And she's been pulling this off for so long, even when she's not in the mainstream. You know, I hold out her picture, people know what she is. I mean, Jack, shit, you know.
I met her.
Lacey, oh, you met her?
Yeah, at Comic-Con.
Nice.
Awesome. That, you know,
I
hey,
asked,
by the way, I have a question. I have
I
a
You asked
question.
for your money.
Are you going to San Diego Comic-Con?
no, but I will be in the area. I just won't be in the convention center.
I actually have a friend who met her as well.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I heard she's pretty cool, pretty
She is.
badass.
She is. I jokingly asked for her number.
Of course you did.
Your money yesterday.
For
Yeah, just
It
like
wasn't
you
beer
asked
money.
Mortis for beer money.
Well, yeah, it was instead of beer money this time. I just asked for her number.
Good.
She laughed it off.
Yeah, she would.
Oh, I'm sure she's heard a lot.
Yeah.
More into the rated scale than that. But no, I mean, her getting all those rights the way they did that.
Mhm.
You know, I thought, I was like, God damn, this woman was smart. She really, you know, was paying attention and feeling the temperature and stuff. And I was like, damn, this is okay. Let's be honest. When it comes to, okay, there's a reason why when they show you a really flashy car, they have a sexy hot chick in front of the car. Okay? Sex sells. And women are just as guilty because, you know, I'll never forget this. My wife, some years back, I think we were still in California at the time. We were at the, we lost Alicia.
Uh-oh. Where'd she go?
Wow, we're going to wrap up anyway.
Okay.
But I remember when my wife, we were going by the Abercrombie and Fitch, and I guess that they had a male model there, and this dude was shirtless, like ripped like a motherfucker.
Right.
I mean, we're talking 6-pack abs, you know, kind of got that body, that my body. And, you know, girls are taking pictures, and I remember my wife doing this, Jack. Going like this. She literally went like this. She goes, and this was kind of early on in her relationship. I think maybe, well, I don't know when, but she goes, I'm sorry. I'm like, what do you have to be sorry about? I'd have been more concerned if you didn't look.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't have to be sexually attracted to men to know a man's attractive.
Mm-hmm.
Just like women. It's not like, you know, I mean, shit, women have known this secret forever. Why do you think certain women dress a certain way? They want certain people to look at them. They want the guys to want them. They want the girls to envy them, and they want them to know. And she wants to know. They know she's got it. By the way, Alicia, Chloe, you girls in junior high and high school, y'all put men to shame because y'all are some vicious creatures in those years. Guys will just get into a fight, have a cigarette after the fight with the guy they just did the fight with. You women in high school and junior high, oh my God! Once you got into a fight, oh, it was game on forever.
Yep. They would carry that grudge for the rest of the school year and beyond your life.
Agreed, yes.
So
I
yes.
was like, I literally, my buddies and we were staying the night at my friend's house, and I said, God, it is so good we weren't born girls. They said, he was like, really? You think so? I'm like, dude. I was like, have you seen the way these girls fight in school?
They fight
I'm like,
dirt.
we're not supposed to. I'm like, we're taught we're not supposed to hit women. Quite frankly, I was like, if we can't touch them, we need to run because they will fuck us up.
I do have a pretty mean right hook.
I got a pretty mean kick. So
I got
No,
a
it's not
batarang.
that. It's not that we're worried about. It's the fact that she'll pull hair, you'll bite, you'll rip out things.
break glasses because I knew a class where
You break all the rules that are unwritten with men when we fight. Because we fight, we just use but we don't go for the cheap shots. You girls, oh my God, all you go for, it's like those weak spots. There's a reason it's called a cat fight. You know the weaknesses and you exploit them.
Let's just say I may be tiny, but do not underestimate me.
I'm smaller than you.
How tall are you?
No, not that tiny. I'm average. I'm just tiny in a certain other way.
Well, somebody just popped in. Who else just popped in here? What the? Oh. All right, folks. We got to let a guy from across the pond on the luck of the Irish. The real Irish, as he would say. Potato Raven.
Hey.
Hey.
Raven. Damn, I just gave you a great intro and you
Awkward.
Oh, okay. You just said, "Can't you hear me?" No, we can't hear you.
Nah, bud, we can't hear you. Sorry.
I don't think I got much of an intro though when I came on.
Chloe.
I don't know you well enough yet to give you a proper intro.
Oh, okay. You gotta know the person well. I see.
Hey, can you hear
Gotcha.
now?
Hi, honey. How are you? Not you, Revan. My wife, who is the Stitch Cafe. Just want to make sure I make that clear.
Oh, what? I'm not good enough. What? Our special night in France means nothing to you, doesn't it?
I told you
I was
never
a
to
princess,
talk
man.
about that. I told you that was a one-time deal. You agreed. You signed the contract. You signed the papers. You got your initials.
I'll see you in court, bitch.
Which court? You think you're going to get me across the pond? Come on. Take me to Ireland. I dare you.
Irish versus American, round one. Ding.
How you doing, buddy?
Oh, I'm doing good. How are you doing, man?
Well, I was going to wrap up, but everybody looks a little fired up, so figure what the hell, we'll just keep going for a little bit. Till people start dropping like flies, and then
I'm probably gonna have to go soon because I haven't eaten yet today. So
Yeah, you need to eat.
What do you mean you haven't eaten yet?
well, I
It's
didn't.
only-
Dude, it's like 3:30
It's
there. You didn't have breakfast
Yeah,
or
we started
lunch or
2 hours ago.
breakfast?
Exactly.
And then before that, when did I wake up? Like
You were
at
eating
10?
a troll. You were eating a troll.
Oh yeah, we were eating troll.
All right. Hey, Jack. Say goodbye to your girlfriend and everybody else here. Go get you some food, buddy.
All right. I'll see you
I
guys
don't
later.
need
Thanks
you.
for having me.
I don't need Alicia pissed at me because you collapsed because you are starving because you stayed on a panel.
All right.
No,
I'll see you guys
if
later.
If
you later,
you pass us out on camera, we'll get extra views.
Maybe, yeah. All right. I'll see you guys later.
Hey, I don't want extra views that way, man. I can't get over there to California that quick. I can get there faster than
And me, I saw this one. I saw this one on TikTok, and this girl was in a bar and she was talking, right? And she was just being a bitch to the barman, and he's like, "Okay, don't you tell me what to do." And you see on the CCTV, like he leaned on the bar and he's like, "Okay," and then she just disappeared. He had left the cellar door open because he was going up and down.
I think I saw that one.
Yeah,
I've actually seen
I
it.
did in a black shirt in it. Yeah, my God. Oh, NB, heads up, there's a scam going around that one of the lightsabers is going out of business. Pixel sabers, that's it.
Oh.
Yeah, there's a
Jeez
scam going
Louise,
around.
my freaking dog just breathed so heavy. I heard him all the way in here.
Your dog is sick of your shit, man.
He's wanting your pizza, Jess. He's wanting your pizza now.
Is your dog
I
secretly
don't have
Darth
any food.
Vader?
I don't have any food in here.
I'm kidding.
Okay, you know what I have in here? I have beer and I have weed.
I wonder if your dog
Ever
secretly
think about
Darth
combining
Vader.
the two of them?
Get high.
Revan, how you doing, buddy? How's your legs?
I'm doing good. I was busy all this week. My left leg is a bit weak, but my foot on the right leg is actually sore right now. But I'm not. I'm still able to walk on it, so that's good. I can deal with pain.
All right. Well,
I booked my tickets to America. Yeah.
So yeah, you going to New York, Texas, and
Houston.
Well,
just Houston.
Okay.
Yeah, you're going to Houston.
It was
What are you going to Houston for anyway? I forgot.
We've got a friend who lives in Houston with severe PTSD. So he can't fly anywhere, so we're going to him. Also,
hey, are you visiting your cousin and his husband while you're here?
No, he's up in Boston.
Yeah, but I mean, you're landing in New York. I figured maybe you'd stop along.
So the flights to New York were actually charging $2,500 to connect in New York. So they got ones on the deal for like $1,400, and that connects in Chicago.
Wow.
Yeah, I have to take a little train from one airport to its other terminal to get my connecting flight. The airport has a little train.
LAX?
Atlanta.
Maybe.
Like that too.
Yeah, Atlanta too. Oh, God, definitely Atlanta.
Yeah, this one is an hour and a half I'm in there, so just get my ass from one plane to another.
Well, actually, 90 minutes is not a bad. Actually, 90 minutes is not a bad layover time. In America, you want to probably have a 60 to 90-minute layover between one to the other. Any more than that, because in America, I don't know how to do it in Ireland. In America, they start boarding you about, what is it, Alicia?
15 minutes
or
before
30?
At least an hour before boarding time. Yeah.
Yeah, it's about 30, not an hour, but I think right at 30 minutes is when they start putting people on.
Right, exactly. At least 30 minutes before the flight takes off. 30 to 45 minutes, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that's the case. Anyway. All right, guys.
Sorry, my cousin sent him.
No, it's okay. It's we are over the 2-hour mark. We've had a great time. Potato Revan, thank you for coming in. Chloe, thank you for coming in. We're gonna call it a night, guys. We're at the 2-hour mark. We'll talk if anybody wants to bullshit afterwards, we'll talk, but yeah, Yeah, I'm getting tired. I'm sorry, but seeing the movie Top Gun Maverick and my wife being like, I've never been so tired coming back from a movie. I'm like, yeah, I'm in the same boat. It's an interesting experience. All right, folks, with that, we'll see y'all on the flip side.